Now, you understood when you made these 2 YouTube videos at issue in this case that you were challenging Mr. Vala and Valaverse's relationship with their customers, right?
I did not.
Well, you were talking about them ripping people off and gaslighting, right?
No. But you can keep saying that I am, and we can keep doing that.
Now, you never looked into, like investigated, the truth of your claims, but you made them anyway, right?
Because they didn't need investigated.
Okay. The answer to my question is yes, right?
What was the
Before you say the rest of it, can you just say yes to my question?
What was the question again?
Let's have it read back.
Now, you never looked into, investigated the truth of your claims, but you made them anyway.
I would say, I mean, I did look into them over the years. I did not investigate them before making the video.
Now, you didn't stop at accusing plaintiffs of theft. You also called Mr. Vala a, quote, terrorist, unquote, correct?
Yes.
Now, yes or no, I'm not asking you to tell me what the word means, but I'm just asking yes or no. At the time that you used that word, did you know what the word terrorist means?
Yes.
Do you have any evidence that Mr. Vala is a person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Now, yet, in response to request for admission number 28, you can go ahead and pull it up, and then it's Exhibit 1.
Thank you, sir.
Before you read that, let me ask you this. Just so we're clear about the time frames. At the time you made the statement, and before you made the statement in which you used the word terrorist, you had no evidence that he's a person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, if you look at Exhibit 1, request for admission number 28, you, in discovery, denied that you knew, this is referring to the time of the video, that Mr. Vala wasn't a terrorist. So my question for you, and you agree, you denied that, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, my question for you, what evidence then did you have at the time that Mr. Vala uses unlawful violence and intimidation against civilians in the pursuit of political aims?
I had none.
And if you secretly or personally meant something else or some other definition, you knew that your viewers can't read your mind, right?
Correct.
And you'd agree that being labeled a terrorist is a serious accusation, right?
In some cases.
Well, this is a country that has experienced terrorist attacks, right?
Yes.
And we see that topic being discussed on the global stage all the time, right?
Yes.
There have even been instances of domestic terrorism committed by Americans against other Americans, yes?
Yes, sir. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So in general, calling someone a terrorist is a serious matter, yes?
Sometimes.
Other than those that I mentioned from your memory, can you name some actual terrorists, people understood to be terrorists, besides bin Laden?
Not really.
Being branded a terrorist could have an impact on a person's standing in the community, yes?
It could.
It could cast them in a bad light, yes?
It could.
It can make other people hate them or wish them ill, yes?
I can't really say.
Well, it could, right?
I mean, anything's possible.
Now, you alluded in the October 4th, 2023 video, it's Exhibit 45, at 2 minutes and 40 seconds in. I'm going to play this. You alluded to conspiracy theories about Mr. Vala, right? Let's play it.
I've made some videos. I like to think that I've got the receipts for the most part. There are a couple conspiracy theories, but other than that, like, you know.
Okay. Now, again, you referenced to a couple of conspiracy theories you have about him, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, so in this video, you made some vague assertions of conspiracy theories. You called Mr. Vala a terrorist, but you left the rest to your audience's imagination, right?
No, sir.
In your life experience, most people, if you call them a terrorist, they'd be reasonably offended, right?
I can't say for sure.
It's a serious allegation, right?
Sometimes. Context is everything.
Well, wouldn't a person be right to be distressed if someone said that about them?
Again, depending on the context and which definition you're using, yeah.
You knew that Mr. Vala was not a terrorist, yet you said it anyway about him. Isn't that correct?
Incorrect.
So, as you sit here today in this deposition under oath, do you maintain that Mr. Vala is a terrorist? Yes or no?
Define terrorist for your purposes.
Well, I'm just using a dictionary definition of terrorist.
Was there only one definition in that dictionary? And which dictionary did you use?
The primary dictionary definition is as follows: a person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims.
What are the secondary definitions?
Sir, are you quibbling about whether this is the widely understood definition of terrorist?
Am I quibbling over definitions in a legal case? You're absolutely right, I am.
Now, could you answer my question?
I disagree with your...
It was a yes or no question, and I'm going to ask you to answer the actual question I asked, rather than either give a speech in response or not respond to the question by rewriting it. Go ahead, I'm going to have it read back to you. The are you quibbling question.
Sir, are you quibbling about whether this is a widely understood definition of terrorist?
Yes.
Okay. Are you a lexicographer?
No, sir.
Before you used the word terrorist in reference to Mr. Vala, did you carefully consider what word you were going to use?
The context in the video says no, so no.
Is that an accurate answer?
I mean, it says, for lack of a better term, before I explain why I said it. So
So there was no better term you could have thought of to brand Mr. Vala with, right?
not when I was using it in the context of the American euphemism of not negotiating with terrorists and the slippery slope that it entails.
Now, you didn't think about the use of the word before you did it, and you certainly didn't study any dictionary definitions, right?
I might have at some point. I can't recall my
Before-
college training.
In proximity to making the statement about Mr. Vala, you didn't study dictionary definitions, right?
Correct.
All right. I'm going to turn now to the Joe Fest convention where you made reference to Mr. Vala. I'm sorry, you made it in the video, you made the allegation about Mr. Vala having a physical altercation with you at Joe Fest. I'm going to turn to that topic now. Now, in the September 20th, 2023 video, I believe, you alleged that Mr. Vala had had a physical altercation with you at the 2022 Joe Fest convention, right?
In which video?
The September 20th, 2023 video? Is that the right one?
I don't recall if that was in the September one.
Okay, let's play the clip. And read the timestamps, please.
8:18 to 45.
And this is September 20th, right?
Yes.
It'd be really weird if Sergeant Fuller are gonna have to sign all these action figures when someone made them look like Popeye. So, a friend of mine decided that my buddy Ryan, who got the aforementioned creepy letter from Vala, Vala, we got to talking and we started joking around about legal action force, right? Because it's like, he's legally action force, right? Like, according to his lawyers, he is legally action force, so we have to respect him as action force. It's just legally action force, not really action force, right? Like, when we say action force, we mean not. It's also funny because I think there were two other people that I know for sure that privately got cease and desist. Me, who went public with it, which he told me was a very, very naughty idea.
It was the October
You're
4th
not
video.
supposed-
Sorry, we were playing the wrong video. It was the October 4th, 2023 video, and we're going to play that part of it. And go ahead and give us the timestamp, please.
8:18 to 45.
Guys, be better. And maybe wonder why he's so against me being at Joe Fest. Even though he's had a physical altercation with me, but I've never done anything physically to him. Again, sticks and stones, man. Like, so, maybe ask yourself, why do Bobby Vala and his crew want to silence me so badly?
Okay. So again, you allege that Mr. Vala had a physical altercation with you at the 2022 Joe Fest convention, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're aware that there was a video of your interaction with Mr. Vala, right?
A partial video, yes.
Yeah. So we're going to play that video. And this is Exhibit 44. That's you on the right, correct?
Not the furthest right, but I am on the right side of the screen, yes.
And Mr. Vala on the left, correct?
Yes, sir.
I want you to tell us to pause the video when you see any physical contact between Mr. Vala and you.
Gotcha.
Or even any attempted physical contact. How long is the video?
2 minutes and 28 seconds.
Okay. You never stopped it because there was never any physical contact in the video, right?
Correct. We did not make physical contact.
Yeah. Well, more precisely, Mr. Vala never made physical contact with you, right?
Correct.
And vice versa, right?
Correct.
Nor did he attempt to, right?
I don't believe so.
He didn't, like, raise a fist or swing at you, right?
No, sir.
He didn't gesture as if he was about to hit you, right?
Not that I saw.
And when you talked to others about the incident, you never mentioned anything physical occurred, right?
What do you mean by physical?
Well, I mean, that he did not engage in a physical altercation with you. You never told others that until you mentioned it in the YouTube video.
In the context of the story, it's physical because it's an in-person interaction versus all of the digital interactions that had happened beforehand. So, again, we can be pedantic about definitions, but like...
The words you used, you chose, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, nobody else. You can't blame a lawyer for this, right?
I mean, I can blame this one.
You can't blame a lawyer for the words that you used in the YouTube video describing Bobby Vala having a physical altercation with you, correct?
Correct.
Those are your words, right?
Correct.
All right. So I'm going to hand you your description of the Joe Festa incident from June 26, 2022. This is Exhibit 15, and it's Bates numbered KK1639. This is communication from you to Aranya, A-R-A-N with the tilde A. Okay, you see it?
Yes, sir.
All right, read it aloud, please.
Yes, sir. Bobby, Analog, and this dude Mike come downstairs, combing the lobby looking for me, calling me a pussy, saying I'm hiding, whatever. I come out, BV is like, quote, come here, pussy, quote. I come over, tell him to suck on my pussy. Then Analog and Mike kind of step in front of him yelling at me, mostly asking me who made my shirt, where I got it from. I ask Bobby why he's hiding behind the other dudes. He steps forward for a sec before they step in front of him again. lots of yelling, accusing me of shit I joked about that shows they're clearly stalking my socials. Ben steps in, tries to start diffusing BV. Someone drags me down the hallway trying to get me to go to bed. Groups form. At some point, Ben brings Mike over, who spends 20 minutes pretending to try and understand why the shirt is funny. It's a semi-reasonable convo till Analog comes over and starts running his mouth again. We get into it with him again, which escalates to Bobby coming over to get both of them, and they go to leave, arguing with us and getting heckled the whole time. There's a lot of missing details. I'm a disgrace to fatherhood because I wouldn't tell Tony who made my shirt. A lot of shit talking the line. Spoon showing Tony his nipple for some reason.
Now, in this message, you say that both times you interacted, Mr. Vala walked away, right?
No, sir.
What do you say?
Would you like me to reread it?
No, not the whole thing. With
Which part?
respect to Mr. Vala walking away from the discussion.
At the end of the altercation, we say, we get into it with him again, which escalates to Bobby coming over to get both of them, and they go to leave, arguing with us and getting heckled the whole time.
Right. So Bobby left, right?
Once. Can I get the question repeated? Is that kosher?
Sure, if
Make
you
sure
want to
I
make sure you gave an accurate answer.
I just want to
yeah.
make sure I heard
Yeah.
the question right.
That's fine.
Now, in this matter, you say that both times you interacted, Mr. Vala walked away, right?
Yeah, I think there was a different question later on. But let me just clarify, okay? At least once here, you're reporting that Bobby left, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you sent that message at 8:03 a.m. on the 26th when your discussion with Mr. Vala was just the previous night, right?
Probably.
Okay. So this was a fresh, detailed recollection on your part of what happened, right?
Yes, sir.
Nowhere in there did you say that he had a physical altercation with you. You didn't use those words, right?
I did not use those words, correct.
You didn't say he assaulted you, right?
I did not say
You
that.
didn't say
correct.
he hit you.
Correct.
You didn't say he threatened to hit you, right?
Correct.
You didn't say he gestured as if he was going to hit you, right?
Correct.
Now, let's take a look at another communication from you discussing the event. This is Exhibit 12. It should be in front of you. And then it's KK272 is the Bates number. And what I'd like you to do is about 2/3 of the way down the page of KK272, read your messages from 1:30 a.m. and 10:58 a.m. aloud, please.
1:30 a.m. They came to the lobby looking for me. They found me. There was a lot of arguing. People eventually came in to break it up. 2:58:56. Things escalated. I don't know how to describe it, but nobody got hit. LOL.
Right. You said nobody got hit, right?
Correct.
And you even said LOL. You thought that was funny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you didn't mention anything in these accounts about any kind of physical contact with you and Bobby when you talked to them about the incident with your buddies, right?
Correct.
Now, it's also true that here you say that nobody got hit, but then in your video you describe it as a physical altercation, right?
Yes, sir.
Safe to say that at a minimum in your video, you exaggerated about what happened, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Wasn't quite the truth to suggest that it was a physical altercation, right?
Is that your perspective, or are you
I'm
just
asking.
asking me? Oh,
I'm not testifying here, you are.
I believe that it was.
Well, it would be reasonable for somebody listening to that to think when you use the words that Bobby Vala had a physical altercation with you, right? You make him the actor, you say he's engaged in a physical altercation with you. It'd be reasonable for somebody to hear that and to think he did something physically to you. Fair?
Reasonable minds can differ.
Now will you answer my question? It was a yes or no question.
I don't think that's fair. No.
The question was, would it be reasonable for somebody?
I do not believe it would be reasonable.
By claiming that Mr. Vala had a physical altercation with you, you were painting him in a false light,
Objection.
correct?
Objection.
Go ahead.
Incorrect.
Now, Exhibit 1, response to request for admissions number 34. You denied that Mr. Vala never got into a physical altercation with you, correct?
Denied that he had never.
Yes. Correct? That's what you did. That's how you responded, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then, number 35, you also said you reviewed the video of the incident, but you still maintained that it showed you and Mr. Vala in a physical altercation, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, once again, your viewers of your YouTube posts on your channel aren't mind readers, right?
Correct.
If you say physical altercation, you could expect your readers to take you at your word, right?
Yes, sir.
And you can expect for at least some of them to interpret that when you talk about a physical altercation as meaning, let me withdraw that. What does altercation mean to you? What does it mean?
That's a good question. I guess like a... I'm having a hard time finding another word for it. Like...
Well, it has a negative connotation, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
You know, not using the not using the word in the definition, like an altercation's like a negative interaction.
Right,
So we had a physical negative interaction.
right. And you were physically in the same location, right?
Relatively.
Right. But would you not even be willing to concede in the slightest? You put those two words together, physical and altercation, that a reasonable person could interpret that as meaning that there was a physical dispute or fight between the two of you.
I disagree.
So you think that the only reasonable interpretation of your words is we were in the same space together, right?
Yes, sir.
You didn't say we had an argument in person at Joe Fest, right?
Yes, sir.
You didn't clarify that there had been no physical attack by Mr. Vala against you, right?
Disagree.
You think in your video you clarified that?
In the first video, I spent 45 minutes doing it.
In the October 4th video, you didn't.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, you understand that under Ohio law, assault and battery are criminal acts, right?
Yes.
And your video can be reasonably interpreted as you accusing Mr. Vala of illegal physical acts, correct?
No, sir.
You knew that he had taken no physical action toward you, correct?
Define physical action.
Well, he didn't hit you, right?
Correct. He
He
did not
didn't
hit
shove
me.
you.
Correct.
And you knew that had never happened, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And you knew that by insinuating that he had done something physically to you, that would make people in the community think less of him, right?
No, sir.
Okay, let's take a look again at the September 20th, 2023 video, Exhibit 2, this section. This is 43 minutes in, 14 seconds.
Bobby Vala is a bitch. Bobby Vala is a coward. Bobby Vala is an unoriginal hack. And Bobby Vala is a hypocrite. But
Wait, finish a little.
more importantly than that, the G.I. Joe community is one of the coolest groups of humans that I've ever been involved with.
Okay,
And
that's fine. You said, and I quote, Bobby Vala is a bitch, Bobby Vala is a coward, Bobby Vala is an unoriginal hack, and Bobby Vala is a hypocrite. I quote that accurately?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Safe to say you hated Mr. Vala as you were saying that, right?
No, sir.
Safe to say you disliked him as you said that, right?
No, sir.
You weren't neutral saying that, above the fray, right?
Correct.
Calling someone a bitch is not exactly a term of endearment, right?
It is in some of my circles.
Well, I think you've repeated throughout this deposition that context is everything. The context of you calling Bobby Vala a bitch is followed by Bobby Vala is a coward, Bobby Vala is an unoriginal hack, and Bobby Vala is a hypocrite, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the context in that immediate few seconds, right?
Yes, sir.
Along with various other negative statements about Bobby Vala throughout the video, right?
Yes, sir.
Safe to say that you disliked him as you said that.
I believe I answered the question already.
Well, are you maintaining that answer despite those words that you used?
Yes, sir.
You felt, as you said those words, a spirit of ill will toward him?
No, sir.
You, because of what he had said to you at Joe Fest, you felt a spirit of revenge toward him.
No, sir.
You published these videos and made these allegations against him in these two videos because you didn't like Bobby Vala, right?
No, sir.
You wanted other people to see these videos and join you in disliking him, right?
No, sir.
All right, let's, we're wrapping up here. although I'll take a break before we formally adjourn to confer with my client and Mr. Dawson. But after everything we've discussed today, do you have any regrets about any of your actions toward Mr. Vala? Yes or no?
Yes.
And what are those regrets and for what actions?
I regret pulling the videos down. I regret I think that's probably it.
So your main regret is that you didn't leave your allegations against Mr. Vala up on the internet for more people to see. That's your biggest regret.
At the moment.
And I take it from your response, you feel no remorse for any of the things you said about Bobby Vala, right?
We would have to go through
Well,
specifics. I would need to,
let's-
it's a broad topic.
Let's go over some of the big ticket items. The reference to stolen IP, no remorse or regret, right?
No, sir.
No remorse or regret about even the name calling we're talking about. Bobby Vala is a bitch, Bobby Vala is a coward, Bobby Vala is an unoriginal hack, and Bobby Vala is a hypocrite. No regrets or remorse, right?
No, sir.
No regrets or remorse about gaslighting, ripping people off. No regrets, right?
No, sir.
No regrets about use of the word knockoff, right?
No, sir.
No remorse either for any of those things, right?
No, sir.
Fair to say you're not sorry about what you did, right?
I hadn't thought about it, but probably not.
Have you ever apologized to Mr. Vala?
At some point, yes.
About what?
I might be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure when we had a phone call together in 2021, I feel like I might have apologized for some of the early memes and for the Kennyverse shirt. I don't want to say without a doubt, but I'm pretty sure that I did there.
That predates these videos, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You've never apologized to him about your statements in the videos, any of them, right?
No, sir.
Yeah. And he's sitting here today. You do not feel any desire to apologize to him, right?
I'd like to keep our communication between counsel.
Now, can you answer my question?
Can you give me the question again, please?
And he's sitting here today. You did not feel any desire to apologize to him, right?
Do not feel any desire to apologize to him, right?
From maybe a little bit.
What would you say?
It would probably be more from the human side, that like we weren't able to figure things out before it got this far, because I know the stress that these things put on these things put on families and professionals, and it would be more about the escalation of things from a man-to-man perspective that we weren't able to figure out ways to connect and help each other better.
Would you apologize to Mr. Vala for any of the statements you made in the YouTube videos? And if so, which ones?
Without knowing them word for word, I can't say, but generally no.
Well, your qualification about without knowing them word for word, we've gone over many of the key ones that are at issue in this litigation. So I ask you again, given those statements, stolen IP, ripping people off, gaslighting, knockoffs, terrorist, would you apologize to him for any of those statements, yes or no?
For the key ones that we've been discussing?
Yes.
No, sir.
Yeah. And you could still go out and retract those statements, right?
Technically, yes.
Yeah. You could correct any statements that are either incorrect assertions of fact or that you're contending or, misinterpreted or misunderstood, right?
Yeah, I tried that once and it backfired.
And I take it your position is you're never going to apologize for making those statements, right?
I can't testify to future me.
Okay, let's take a little, what I hope will be our end break here.
The time is approximately 5:13 p.m. and we're going off the record. The time is approximately 7:18 p.m. The camera is rolling and we're back on the record. Oh, 5:18.
Following up on some of the last round of testimony, sir, you talked about previously apologizing to Mr. Vala, and you suggested that backfired. And actually, to be precise, I think you said that in response to retracting past statements. Am I correct?
I think, if I remember correctly, it was in response to adding context to statements. I think that was part of you could retract, or you could this and that, or you could add context.
Yeah, I don't think I used the word context.
Maybe not. I
but
apologize.
Yeah, you said I know I asked you if you could correct yourself. But let me just get some clarity from you on this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because you made reference to a conversation with Mr. Vala where the two of you talked over the phone. This was how long before the YouTube videos that you posted? Maybe a year before?
2 years. It was shortly before his figures delivered. So
Okay.
2 or 3 years.
Okay, so you had a conversation with Mr. Vala over the phone. It was a civil conversation,
Yeah, I would say so.
kind of a heart-to-heart.
Kind of, yeah.
You guys talked about some differences you'd had, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, buried the hatchet a bit.
Right. And in fact, you mentioned in your earlier testimony that you had apologized to him over some of your conduct previously, right?
Mhm.
After you had that conversation
Yes,
with
sir.
Mr. Vala, you'd agree with me that he never did anything to you after that until filing this lawsuit, right?
Well, no, I would not agree with that.
Well, sending the cease and desist letter before filing the lawsuit, right?
The cease and desist was before the phone call.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just trying to understand, okay, that after you had that conversation with him in which you apologized to him, Mr. Vala didn't do anything to you. Right?
On what timeline?
Well, after that conversation up through the point in which you posted the YouTube videos.
Oh, okay. You had said the lawsuit earlier. So yeah, up until
Yeah,
the,
I'm sorry I wasn't clear about that. All I'm
Um,
trying to establish is that between the time 2 years prior to your September and October 2023 YouTube videos, 2 years before that, you had a conversation with him, right?
something like that, somewhere in
Right.
there. Yeah.
You apologized to him. And after that, from that time forward to the time you published the YouTube videos, Bobby Vala didn't do anything to you, right?
I don't think that's accurate.
Well, there was an argument between the two of you at Joe Fest earlier that year, a couple months earlier, right?
I believe it was a different year than the videos were published.
Okay. Other than that argument, Bobby Vala didn't actually do anything to you, right? I mean, he didn't physically harm you in any way.
He did not.
He didn't, like, other than you having gotten a cease and desist letter previously, he didn't, like, threaten you in any way?
I can't say for sure.
Well, let's be clear about the cease and desist letter, okay? That's a legal mechanism that's used to put somebody on notice that they may be doing something illegal, right?
Yes, sir.
And in this case, the cease and desist letter was about the use of essentially, it was a letter about the T-shirts. Is that right?
Parroting the logo and,
Right.
and making the memes and whatnot.
Right. And that wasn't even from Bobby Vala, that was from his counsel, right? From the company's counsel.
I don't know for sure.
Well, I mean, you knew that came on the letterhead of a law firm, right?
Well, yeah,
Right, suggesting that there could be legal action unless you corrected course, right?
sure.
Okay. But Bobby Vala didn't, like, personally do something to you, is what I'm trying to get at. Between the time you two had a heart-to-heart and you posted these YouTube videos of him.
Well,
Other
again,
than the argument at Joe Fest, okay? Right?
I would need to go through, I would need to go through timelines to say for sure, unfortunately.
So just, as you sit here today, can you recall, and you're going to get the opportunity, there's something, if your counsel reserves the right for you to read your deposition, if there's something you've forgotten between now and then, you can correct typos, transcript, and there's some ambiguity in the law as to whether you can change the substance, okay? But if there's something else you remember that you've left out, you're certainly free to try to amend the testimony that way. What I'm trying to understand, sir, is can we agree that other than the two of you having an argument at Joe Fest sometime before you published the YouTube videos, Bobby Vala didn't actually do anything to you? I'm talking about you. There's nothing you can think of.
There might be some comments or remarks here or there, but nothing's coming to mind in the immediacy. Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay. No further questions?
few. At the beginning of the deposition, you were asked about bootleg vehicles. Were those bootleg replicas of pre or post Valaverse acquisition of the trademark?
They were bootlegs of pre-Valaverse acquisition
When we
vehicles.
say pre-Valaverse acquisition, we mean the Palatoy Action Force.
Yes, sir.
And then you mentioned something about Sergeant Slaughter at the beginning 3 or 4 years ago. Would that have been after Valaverse released their Sergeant Slaughter?
Yes, sir.
Is Sergeant Slaughter an original figure under the Valaverse brand?
No, sir.
You were just asked if Bobby, you said Bobby didn't do anything to you. Did Bobby do anything to any of your friends or acquaintances?
Yes.
What did he do?
Objection foundation.
Go ahead.
Intimidating letters, online harassment, threats, things like that.
Did you ever make any orders from Valaverse?
Via their Kickstarter and CrowdOX, but not the website directly.
Are you aware of any canceled orders from Valaverse based on participation in any of the threads that we've talked about today?
Objection foundation.
No,
Four.
sir.
Okay. You in the video, there's two videos. I'm going to call them a long one and a short one. Is that a fair characterization?
Yes, sir.
And that's the subject of the lawsuit. And the long one, you mentioned rip-offs. All right, you mentioned that, and that was a phrase. Where did you first? Was that your original language, or did you get that from somebody else?
A lot of that language was pre-existing in the Histank thread and in the Joe community.
When did the Histank thread start?
I believe it was in early 2019, maybe late 2018. I could be wrong.
Did you start the Histank thread?
No, sir.
Who started it?
I don't know for sure. I believe it was probably one of the moderators.
I'll represent to you that the title of the Histank thread is Action Force 6-inch figure, former Hasbro G.I. Joe designer Bobby Vala. Is that fair and accurate? Sorry. Action Force 6-inch figure line, former Hasbro G.I. Joe designer Bobby Vala.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned that other people received letters from Vala or Vala's counsel?
Yes.
Objection foundation.
Who received those letters? I got here. I don't need to know who. Can you estimate how many people you know received letters from Bobby Vala concerning statements made in Histank threads, Facebook groups, or any other form of social media?
At least 2.
So you're not the only one who was talking shit about Bobby Vala.
Correct.
Did you type your admissions? Your responses to the request for admissions?
No, sir.
You mentioned in the longer video, you talk about broken toys. Did you receive any broken toys
I received a toy that broke, yes.
from Valaverse?
Yes.
Did any of your friends or any acquaintances receive broken toys from Valaverse?
Objection foundation.
Yes.
Why'd you call them a knockoff? Sorry. Who first called them a knockoff? Are you aware?
Bobby Vala.
Bobby called them a knockoff. Where did you hear or see that?
The Full Force podcast YouTube video.
Do you recall exactly what he said, or as close to, as what he said can you get? How close can you get?
I believe it was to the tune of, I'm not knocking off G.I. Joe, but I'm knocking off G.I. Joe.
Are there other people in the community between 2019 and 2023 who called Bobby Vala's Valaverse Action Force 6-inch figures knockoff G.I. Joes?
Yes, sir.
And you said earlier there were some questions about what the definition of stolen IP was. Well, let's take a step back. Where does the original Action Force line come from?
as far as I understand, it was a line produced by Palatoy in Europe.
And they didn't call it G.I. Joe.
No.
Are there similarities between the original Action Force and the original G.I. Joe?
Yes.
How so?
They repurposed a lot of the molds and designs for the American released stuff and released it over there as Action Force. They also published, I think there were comics and cartoons under that name too that used G.I. Joe characters and G.I. Joe designs.
Objection Foundation.
Do you have any original Action Force toys?
I do not anymore.
Have you ever owned them?
Yes.
Do you remember them as a kid?
No.
Are there forums or pages dedicated to the original Action Force brand?
Yes, sir.
Have you been to any lectures or watched any podcasts or any public speaking engagements concerning the history of the Action Force line?
Yes, sir.
And this would be the original Action Force line.
Yes, sir.
And the same question for Sergeant Slaughter.
Yes, sir.
Is Sergeant Slaughter an Action Force toy?
Which Palatoy or
The
Valaverse?
Palatoy.
Yes.
What do you mean when you say you're talking shit?
Means I'm talking loose, I'm talking shop, it's the same thing you do when you're sitting around with your buddies, right? Like you talk shit in the lobby of a toy show, you talk shit around the bonfire, you talk shit at the bar, like it's what guys do. They sit around and they talk shit.
When you talk shit, do you use hyperbole?
Yes.
When you talk shit, do you provide exaggerations?
Yes.
When you said you were going to jump off a cliff in an exhibit we reviewed, you're actually going to jump off a cliff.
No, sir.
Have you ever talked to any Hasbro, former Hasbro employees about the Action Force line?
The Valaverse or the Palatoy lines?
Both.
Yes,
Which ones?
both.
Who did you have conversations with about the original Action Force product?
Corey Cantaloupe, and Daryl DePriest.
Who is Corey Cantaloupe?
I think he was a designer and a photographer at Hasbro.
And who is Daryl DePriest?
He was a Hasbro employee. I don't know his job titles, unfortunately.
Can you recall when you talked to them?
Daryl I talked to at a JoeCon years ago.
Before 2023?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Both?
No, Corey would have been pre-2023, but
Did Daryl ever talk
Post-COVID.
to you about the current Valaverse Action Force trademark and product?
no, sir.
So explain to me what you mean when you say I want the full breadth of what you mean by intellectual property as it relates to the quote in your video that we played 3 or 4 times today.
My understanding of intellectual property is a combination of, not just names, but also look and feel. So it's ideas and characters and design.
Explain how you came to the conclusion, or let's go take another step back. Can you provide me a definition of to steal?
I would say to
Have you ever told anybody that they stole something from you?
Yes.
Did you press charges against him?
No, sir.
Is there sometimes, I guess, is it safe to say that if you don't pay money for something, you steal it?
Yes, sir.
Is it a common understanding? Have you ever heard anybody say the phrase, drive it like you stole it?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever heard anybody describe a deal as getting a steal?
Yes, sir.
Does that mean they committed theft?
Objection.
I can't say for sure, but probably not.
In your opinion, does that mean they committed theft?
No, sir.
So how did you come to the conclusion that Bobby stole intellectual property?
Collecting both lines, interacting with the community and seeing the discussion around it, both American G.I. Joe collectors and European Action Force collectors, and, you know, seeing things side by side, comparing them to the originals.
Has anybody else said that, anyone before you, before 2023, said that the Action Force line was stolen intellectual property in any way?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone, and I'll just walk through each claim. Has anybody ever, anyone else ever said they were rip-offs before 2023 besides you?
Yes.
Same thing, complaining about broken toys.
Yes, sir.
Same thing about knockoffs.
Yes, sir.
Have people in the G.I. Joe collector community raise concerns about quality?
Yes, sir.
of the
Objection.
Current Valaverse Action Force line.
Objection.
Yes, sir.
Explain the terrorist comment in the larger video that we watched earlier. Explain what you meant.
I was talking about the situation facing the promoter of Joe Fest, where he was dealing with a vendor with a large social media following and a very loud series of YouTube channels who was on his second or third year of trying to get me banned and threatening to not set up. And the idea, as explained in the video, that if you give in to one demand, that there's nothing stopping that person from coming back and asking more and asking more. And that's the, you know, that's the core of the American euphemism. We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Who was trying to have you banned from,
Bobby Vala.
and that was from Joe Fest.
Objection.
As well as PowerCon.
Joe Fest and PowerCon.
Yes, sir.
Objection, Foundation.
Did you talk to anybody about Bobby's efforts to ban you from Joe Fest or PowerCon?
Yes, sir.
Who?
Pre-2023?
Pre or post? Oh, sorry, no, pre-2023.
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 Aaron Dietrich, Ed Schumacher, Val Staples, Chris Neal, Ryan Kaufman, Ryan Melzer, other friends. I think I even mentioned it in the His Tank thread.
I'm gonna, I think you had 38 in front of you.
Yes, sir.
There's a yellow logo under your Ken Diesel tag. What is that?
That is the logo for the Teen Titans Hive villain from DC Comics.
Okay. Has anybody ever told you that Mr. Vala pitched a 6-inch G.I. Joe line while he was at Hasbro?
Yes, sir.
Objection.
How did you come to know that?
He discussed it publicly, and it was, I think as a result, widely discussed in the community.
We looked at some comments on Plaintiff's Exhibit 40. Go to page 4, KK 978. I'll draw your attention to the last comment from you. He said on the show that he hopes his friends beat his ass if he ever loses his sense of humor. This is a guy that threatened to fight Eric because Eric made a casual joke. Who's Eric?
Eric Aranya. He was used to be a founder and designer at Boss Fight, and before that he worked at Hasbro.
Do you know what the joke was about?
Objection.
The Mattel WWE Ultimate Sergeant Slaughter release.
So was Eric talking shit about Bobby's Sergeant Slaughter?
Objection.
Not directly.
Do you remember the joke?
Objection.
It was something along the lines of, here's Sergeant Slaughter in all his G.I. Joe glory, except no imitations. And it was referencing a underutilized costume that Sergeant Slaughter wore.
How many times did you see Bobby Vala talk about his Action Force line before making your 2023 video? Can you recall?
Again, without, not guessing, but I would imagine between clips and full videos, dozens of times.
In your opinion, has Mr. Vala been very open about the history of his line?
Yes, sir.
Has he been very open about the production and origins of the product?
Yes, sir.
And he's put that out on multiple platforms.
Yes, sir.
Are there very many other small toy manufacturers like, I don't want to say small, but single head of operation toy companies that operate like Mr. Vala and Valaverse?
What do you mean by like?
You agree with me that Valaverse appears to have one head CEO,
Yes, sir.
just from the outside perspective? We don't know what the corporate structure is.
Yes, sir.
Do you know how many employees Valaverse has?
No, sir.
How many actual individual products does Valaverse make, do you know?
Objection Foundation.
I know it's over 100 figures and a vehicle, but that's...
What's the most comparable brand to Valaverse in size and scope?
Objection Foundation.
size and scope?
Are there any others?
Sorry, I'm trying to think, like... he's kind of in a unique space in that regard. Oh, he's kind of in a unique space in that regard. I would, yeah, there's bigger ones and there's definitely smaller ones, but you know,
Who are the bigger ones?
I mean, G.I. Joe, Mythic Legions. Well, I mean, I guess we're talking companies, not toy lines. Sorry. You know, Hasbro, Mattel, Jazzwares, Jack Pacific.
And do all those manufacturers have booths at Joe Fest?
No.
Who has the largest booth at Joe Fest
Currently,
currently?
probably my boss.
And where in relation to, I guess, size of, historically, has Bobby's booth been, I guess, on the ranking of largest to smallest?
Objection Foundation.
I think the last year or two he was there, he might have had the largest booth. I think. I can't say for sure.
How many times have you been to Joe Fest?
Seven or eight.
And how many times has Bobby had a booth at Joe Fest?
Objection, foundation.
When you were there?
Maybe, if I think 4 years, if my count's right, but I can't say for sure.
Each of those 4 years, what was his booth the smallest or the largest?
I think it grew.
Objection, foundation.
I think it grew every year, but I don't recall what the sizes were in the older years.
You follow Bobby on any social media right now, or Valaverse on any social media right now?
No, sir.
Did you before?
I mean, at some point.
How frequently does Valaverse and Bobby Vala post on social media updates about their products or videos?
Objection, foundation. He just said he doesn't follow them.
He did. So I'm asking about before.
Multiple times a week. Once the toys launched, I mean, at least as I remember it.
And early, you mentioned that you sometimes manage the social media for your store, right? The toy department?
Yes, sir.
How many followers do you guys have?
I think we're over 20,000 on Instagram, and I think we're over 15,000 on Facebook, but again, I can't say for sure.
When you guys have a post on that, well, I guess in the last 2 years, what's the most active post you guys have ever had?
I think we had like one Marvel Legends post that outperformed the rest of them and pulled like 800 or 900 likes. But generally speaking, we get between like 50 and 100.
In comparison to your page, is Valaverse's page larger? I know you say your page. The toy department's page, is Valaverse's page larger?
Objection.
By which metric?
Number of followers, the amount of engagement.
Objection, foundation.
I don't know about the first. I would imagine that the engagement's higher. I think it was higher when I was following it.
As for your personal page, we talked about your YouTube page. You said the most number of views you had was 10,000 views on a video, right?
As measured by YouTube, yes.
As measured by YouTube. Was that video posted to any other platforms?
No, sir.
By you?
No, sir.
What's the next largest video you've ever posted on YouTube?
It's probably when I reviewed my Valaverse Kickstarter, I think.
About how many views?
It's like 2,000 maybe. I'm not for certain on that, unfortunately.
That's all.
Okay. Just a brief recross. Earlier, your counsel asked you, and you were making certain contentions about what Bobby Vala allegedly did to friends of yours before you posted the YouTube videos at issue in this case. You recall that questioning?
Yes, sir.
You'd agree with me that there is nothing that Bobby Vala could have allegedly done or communicated to your friends that would justify you making any false statements about him published to third parties, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, is it your contention, because I want to try to understand that piece of your testimony, is it your contention that something you believed, or things you believed Bobby Vala had done to your friends was a motivating factor for you to publish the 2 YouTube videos at issue in this case?
I'm going to object. That's mischaracterization of the testimony.
Well, I'm asking him a question.
I would disagree.
Okay. So again, nothing, just to understand your testimony, excuse me, nothing Bobby Vala allegedly did to your friends, or your beliefs about that, none of that had anything to do with the decisions you made to publish YouTube videos about Vala, right?
I'm not confident saying nothing.
So, are you saying that things you believed Vala had allegedly done to your friends was a motivating factor for you publishing the YouTube videos? Yes or no?
Yes.
And the statements in them? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you understand, don't you? Withdraw that. You understood that, at the time that you published the YouTube videos at issue in this case, that unless you had some factual basis at hand, let me withdraw that. Let me go back to what I'm trying to get at is your counsel asked you about some pre-existing language that was out there about Bobby Vala that preceded your published YouTube videos. You recall that questioning?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And really what I'm trying to get at is that, remember the old expression that, moms say that if you jumped off if your friends jumped off a bridge, would you jump off of it too, right?
Classic. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So, you'd agree that in general, just because other people might be saying things about Bobby Vala, that wouldn't justify you saying the same things absent your own confirmation that those things are correct. Fair?
It would not justify them absent my own confirming, yes.
Right, right. And we've already confirmed that you didn't do any independent investigation of the things that you said in the YouTube videos, right? You've already confirmed that, right?
Disagree with that phrasing, though, because, again, I did discuss the lived experience of it and that informed it, so.
But I want to make sure that we're in agreement that just because, for example, someone else uses the phrase stolen IP, which I think you're now alleging, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you point to anywhere in the record where somebody said stolen IP? Somebody used that phrase?
I would have to look.
Okay, but
He didn't ask specifically about that phrase, though.
right, you've been through the discovery in this case, right?
Yes, sir.
All the chats, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No one else used the word stolen IP, correct?
I can't say for sure.
Okay. And you'd agree, I hope, that you shouldn't republish any factual assertions about Bobby Vala without, let me withdraw that. You would agree that you shouldn't republish any alleged false, getting tired. Let me try again. You'd agree that you shouldn't republish any alleged factual assertions about Bobby Vala without confirming for yourself first that those things are true. Fair?
Yes.
Okay. And that would include negative accusatory factual assertions, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Now, I think that's all I have. Just let's take 2 minutes for me to confer, and then we'll be done.
The time is approximately 5:56 PM, and we're going off the record.
Mr. Koepnick, so go ahead.
The time is approximately 5:58 PM. The camera's rolling, and we're back on the record.
Okay. Mr. Koepnick, that concludes your deposition. Thank you for your time today, and we're adjourned. I understand you're going to reserve read.
Yeah, we'll waive signature. All that means is that you have a right to review the transcript as it's transcribed. We've got a video camera. I trust the reporter. If you would like to read it, you can. I only have one client ever asked to read it, so.
Okay.
And he was definitely crazy. So, we'll waive signature.
Okay.
The time is approximately 5:59 PM. This concludes the deposition.
Thank you.